Doctor, thank you so much for staying with us on the program. So earlier before we went on that break, you said Governor Lawal is economical with the truth. And perhaps you've just validated a statement made by the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, who blamed lack of political will at all levels for the prevailing insecurity in the country. First, how valid is this line of thought? I mean, because the governor replied by saying he does not have control over insecurity in his state. If he does, Banditry will end in 2 weeks. How do we juxtapose these two situations? How do we balance it? Do we need a constitutional review to that effect?
Well, you see, I have to maintain my stand that the governor is too economically true in that respect. And because on the part of the state government, funds are being made available to state governors to provide basic infrastructure and also to fight poverty, provide educations. This security issue is a very clear issue. Section 14, subsection 2 of Nigerian Constitution make it clear, as it was stipulated in 1999 Constitution of the Federal of Nigeria as amended, that the primary responsible of every government is to provide security and welfare of its people. The state governors have their role to play in the fight against armed banditry and other criminal elements in the state. Community policing. The governor have established or rebranded, because the Community Protection Guard was already established by the previous administration of Governor Bello Matawale. But the governor have rebranded and changed the name to Askarawa Zampara. But those Askarawa, they were not motivated, they were not appreciated, they are not funded logistically. So the security also, we have an experience by the previous administration of Abdulaziz Yari administration, Yarima Bakura administration, Mahmoud Ali administration, Matwal administration. They purchased operational vehicles for security personnel in the state to support their operation. But since inception of Governor Dauda Lawal administration, it is on record, he has never procure or distribute vehicles or security personnel to support their operation in the state. We have to agree that the federal government, under the office of Mr. President, is the C&C, Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The other cannot give directives to the army, to civil defense, to police, to DSS, that is secret intelligence agencies. But he has to work hand in hand with them to make sure that he supports their operation in their various domains. So when the governor is not ready to work with the security agencies in the state, then there's going to be a problem. The chief of army staff or security cannot be deployed to Zamfara State without the consent of the governor. And when the governor is not ready to cooperate with the security agencies deployed from the federal government, then there's going to be a less somewhere else. So there must be a synergy, and they must work in symbiotic relationship between the state governor and the federal government, including the local government level. This is what we are talking about. So the issue of playing games or apportioning blame, counter acquisition and counter blame does not arise. All hands must be on deck to fight this criminal and their sponsors.
Absolutely. So why has it been hard for the top leaders of these bandit groups to be caught and executed?
I have said it time without number that there should be a total overhaul And that should be a check and balances in the security agencies. Because I have said it in my opening remark, there is weak judicial system, corrupt, unpatriotic and corrupt security agencies who are aiding and abetting this banditry. With the growing size of the population and the climate change, drug addiction, this thing is unimaginable. So these criminals, especially, there should be a community policing. Most of these bandits have informants in the rural communities who give the information, vital information, on the security movement, on any BIP coming to their community, on anybody who sells his farmland, anybody. So they have informants. There should be a community policing. Traditional rulers, unscrupulous traditional rulers who are aiding and abetting this bandit should be punished mercilessly in line with the provision of the Nigerian Constitution. So this is the problem. Some are feeling that they are above the law. And that is also the government should also find a way to change the fight against the armed banditry from conventional way to advanced technology. That is artificial intelligence. There is need to have another way of fighting them technology-wise. And there also need to go into two approach, carrot and stick, kinetic and non-kinetic approach. What happened in the northeast, in Maiduguri, in Borno State, there is Operation Safe Corridor, where the government extend hand to those who want to repent, who want to surrender and be reintegrated into the society. So any armed bandit who is ready to surrender unconditionally should submit his arms and ammunition and embrace peace and should be now taken to rehabilitation center for counseling and reintegration into society.
All right. Dr. Shinkafi, tonight we've talked about how northern governors are not doing enough, and you have charged them this night to be up and doing. But of course, a local government chairman, religious and traditional institution, also doing enough.
You see, it is very unfortunate situation. Sometime, there was a time, the Office of National Security at the Baeva summoned a meeting of the northern governors, and to be presided over by the governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Yahaya, who is the chairman of Northern Governors Forum, with the service chief and other ministers of defense. Some governors in the northwest, where the armed banditry is the hotbed of banditry, refused to honor the invitation and attend. It is on record. No representation. So there's no political will, no commitment, no conviction, no belief. Some of them are using it for political gains. Some are using the security crisis as their money-making machines. This is true of the matter. And the local government now, we thank God, Supreme Court in a unanimous judgment, restore the independence of local government financial autonomy. So if the funds are being sent directly to the local government council, I think the local government chairman will be able to fight poverty, do some rural roads, also organize some security meeting and support the security in their domain, in their operations.
All right. Doctor, on the issue of intelligence gathering, what is being done? How seamless is it for intelligence to be gathered and sent to the right authorities?
You see, there was a time during our committee and during the tenure of Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradun, there is a rural community called Mutu in Mada district, where the DSS makes some intelligence gathering that they have started Boko Haram and ISWAP insurgents in Zamfara State. And other part of Sapi and other part of Shinkafi, they even led people in the private prayers. This secret police sent their report to action agencies, and the action agencies have not done anything. So there was a time you see this secret police will make some intelligence gathering and provide their report to the action agencies, that is the military and the police, and yet the police will not do anything. Because they will tell you they don't have fuel, they don't have this, their APC is not working. Let me tell you the most disheartening thing. In Zamfara State, the whole police command in Zamfara State has only one functional APC vehicle. That is armored personnel carrier vehicle. Functional. And the vehicle has been deployed to the government house. What does that APC do in the government house? You understand? So both the military, the police need to be funded fully and not to be motivated and not to be equipped and also trained very well to face these criminals. Nobody will tell me that we don't have enough personnel. Our personnel can face this criminal. You understand? But that is, as I have said, these governors are not ready to support them because most of them are using it for politics.
But Doctor, what's your view on the establishment of state or community policing and also forest ranger force?
You see, the state police are long overdue. And community policing is very paramount. But the state establishment of state police has advantage and disadvantage. It happens I have been a member of national conference, which was convened by His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in 2014. We made 600 recommendations, which include also state police and decentralization of the police force in Nigeria. So I'm in the view that state police should be established, but let me remind you, it's a purely constitutional matter. Because state police, if this is going to be a state police, there must be a constitutional amendment. Because what is in the Nigerian constitution is Nigerian police force, not state police. The only disadvantage of state police, some governors may use them against their political opponent, intimidating them, harassing them, even threatening them, most especially during election campaign. So that is the great danger of also state police. And let me tell you, when a state governor will come out and make a categorical statement, when Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed 70,000 naira as a national minimum wage, some governors in the northern Nigeria are saying they cannot pay 70,000 minimum wage. Somebody who cannot pay 70,000 minimum wage, how do you expect he can fund a state police? Somebody who has a backlog of pension and gratuity for many years, how do you expect he can fund a state police? So when you establish a state police and remain unequipped, untrained, unfunded, then now you are going to create another militia group.
What do you say to those to stakeholders who have said the fear of being abused by politicians is not there because even this current police system we're operating is being abused daily, so it makes no difference?
Please, can you come back again?
All right, because you identified that the fear of being abused, you highlighted the fear of being abused by politicians, but there are some stakeholders who have said it's not really a challenge because this current police system we're operating in Nigeria is being abused by politicians daily, so it practically makes no difference.
No, that is different. Because if the state governor will directly fund the state command or the state police, so they can hold their money and hold them to ransom, and they have to dance to their tune. You understand? He who fears the fivers dictates the tune. But that is the danger of it. You understand? The judiciary have experienced such thing when some judiciary in the state, the state governors are funding them. They are intimidating the judiciary. But now the judiciary have now regained their financial independence. So they cannot dance to their tune. But that is the danger of it.
So I want us to go back to one of the root causes you highlighted at the beginning of the program, because there was an executive order signed by former President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019, which revoked private individuals' firearms licenses. All privately held guns have supposedly been withdrawn from circulation. Despite this, Nigeria remains Africa's largest illicit small arms market. And I mean, according to reports, Nigeria reportedly accounts for 70% of the 500 million illegal weapons in circulation in West Africa. How do we address this?
Well, the executive order still remains because it has been signed into law by the then President Muhammadu Buhari. But if you look at these outlaws, these armed bandits and other criminal elements are now in possession of sophisticated weapons, rocket launchers, AK-49, AK-47. And this revocation of the firearms, which Mr. President did, is for double barrel. Form actions. If a criminal can go and acquire rocket launcher, grenade, machine guns, gun trucks, AK-47, AK-49, then I think the present administration should now reverse that revocation of that firearms license and now allow citizens to bear form action, not rappels. Because rappels is only meant by the security agencies. There is one saying, what Nelson Mandela of blessed memory said, that if the government and the authority cannot maintain law and order, the citizens are liable to no option than to go out law. So if now the government now refuse to secure the society, and anybody who feel he can get a damn gun and for self-defense, I think he's not making he's not committing any crime based on the Supreme Court pronouncement. There is a unanimous Supreme Court judgment where it has been declared that if a criminal come to kill you, you bear an arms, you kill him on self-defense, then you are free as this thing. And also in accordance with Islamic law, when you kill a criminal, you are a jihadist. And when he kill you, you are a martyr.
All right, Dr. Shinkafi, what I would really like to take away from this particular conversation is, can we really retrieve these illicit weapons from the non-state actors? Is it possible?
You see, the only way you can retrieve these weapons is two ways. The first way, the government should now apply in the Northwest what they have done in the Northeast. Operation Step Corridor. Any armed bandit or outlaws who are ready to embrace peace will submit their arms and ammunition unconditionally. And second way, the government should do everything humanly possible. Deploy military forces, air force, ground troops, including vigilante troops, and flush out these bandits. Their hideouts are well known in their borrowed states. These bandits are not foreigners. 85% of armed bandits are indigenous. They are not foreign. They are not from Mali. They are not from Burkina Faso. They are not from Niger. 85%. And also the government should do everything humanly possible to make sure that they tighten the security in our land border. Because northern Nigeria, Taraba share boundary with Cameroon. Borno State share boundary with Chad, Niger, Cameroon. Zamfara State share boundary with Niger in Shinkafi in Zulmi local government. Sokoto State share boundary with Niger Republic. Kebbi State share boundary with Niger Republic, Benin Republic. Kwara State share boundary with Benin Republic. Yobe State share boundary with Niger. Jiga share boundary with Niger. Katsina share boundary with Niger. More than 13 states in the northern state share boundary with neighboring countries. So the proliferation of smaller and lighter weapons come through the land border. So government has to checkmate the excesses of the security agencies that are posted in the land border. Even bring a scanner.
Doctor, you know, you've given 3 options, but do you agree with Senator Shehu Sani, who is asking the National Assembly to revisit the Firearms Act? Do you think we must begin to amend the obsolete Firearms Act to align with global best practices?
Yes, that one is also a very good suggestion, but in doing the legislation for the possession of the amendment of firearms possession law, the government has to be very careful so that the security agencies will not end up giving license to hardened criminals who will now go back and continue terrorizing people. But the government should also strictly maintain the other act, which only will be only allowed to bear some action for hunting and gaming, and it can be also included for self-defense. Anything contrary to self-defense will amount to criminality. I concur with his suggestion.
All right.
But it
a few minutes to wrap up.
Legislation.
All right. So I want us to go back to your idea of kinetic and non-kinetic approach, because last year, Vice President Kashim Shettima said military offenses alone could not sustainably resolve the crisis, the security crisis in Nigeria's northwest. He said rather it would take a mix of kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore calm in the region. But for non-kinetic approach, which some security experts call restorative justice, do you think one of the major problems is that the peace deals negotiated so far are badly flawed?
Yeah, please, can you come back the last sentence? I have not heard what you said.
Do you think the peace deals negotiated so far are badly flawed? Are we doing it the right way?
You see, there's a way you go into negotiation and peace dialogue with this armed bandit, but these armed bandits are not trustworthy. You see, banditry is different with a militancy or Boko Haram. Banditry is a criminal driving enterprise. Well, Boko Haram has an ideology they are promoting. Well, also militancy, they are fighting for emancipation or marginalization of their area. But this one is a pure criminal enterprise. They have turned it to cash-making machine, kidnapping foreigners, collecting billions of naira, millions of naira, making life miserable. So to go into a negotiation, it should be unconditional. And when also going into this, we have made the recommendation of our committee. What they are complaining that some of their palm settlement, cattle route were hijacked by traditional rulers, extortion by traditional rulers.
All right.
Government should look into their conflict.
Dr. Shinkafi, because of time, and I'd like for you to do this in 30 seconds. What's your advice to the federal government on the lasting way to secure Nigeria?
The lasting way, Mr. President should stand to his constitutional role and do everything humanly possible to protect the country from external and internal enemies, because he is the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Section 14, Subsection 2 of Nigerian Constitution is sacrosanct. So he has to use it and apply it at all level, to fight this, to secure the country, so that we now foster unity and peaceful coexistence.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution on the program tonight. Thank you for your perspectives. Appreciated. Dr. Abdullahi Shinkafi is the former Vice Chairman, Committee for Finding the Root Causes of Banditry and Solution in Zamfara State. Thank you so much for your time with us tonight, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.